in this world tunaishi na hiyo cycle. Yes, maybe I look for money, I do an education, I have a family, and then I feel kuna hiyo race ya life yenye nacheki pengine I'm getting old ndazeeka, I need to catch up before my time in this world is up. And that is what tumegrow nayo, but you need to think beyond that. Because let's say mimi nifike time to niamue mimi sasa tu naendaga Bible study siendi works, people are going to be very judgmental. Watasema voke bana, mbona yuko ambitious? Unataka tu Bible study. Like if really they cannot see the sense of that, they'll start questioning.
Yeah, so what's up guys? Welcome back to the show. Hii ndo nile za benyo tunapatanga light kabisa. You know our name, tunaitwa Light Hour. And today we have, I cannot say a new guest, but ule tu guest ule mmoja. If you are king unaweza kumkumbuka. Anaitwa Kelvin. Nakumbuka hapa hivi back ago tulikuwa with a show na yeye, na tulikuwa tuna speak much about sasa historia ya Biblia. Like now the 6000 history of a Bible. Akatuelezea vizuri, tukaelewa kutoka mwanzo hadi mwisho. So today again amekuja ametumita hapa hivi. Basa leo tuko na something different. As you can see on the table, tuko na blacks and white. In short, tuko na chess hapa hivi. So also we are going even to involve in a little chess as we discuss another topic of today. So you know, kwanza Kevin, maybe unaweza kuji-introduce tena, uambie maybe your name again. Ndio labda kuna wengine wenye wamekusahau ama kuna saa our new viewers.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm really glad to be in this platform once more. And for those who we are meeting for the first time, once again, I'm Kelvin Omega. And it is an honor and also a pleasure to be with you. And I hope also through the sharing and everything, it is going to be more insightful, and also our lives are going to turn around, and we're going to learn from each other. Thank you.
Exactly. So before kwanza ni introduce kwa topic ya leo, one thing about Kelvin, though from maybe being a Bible teacher, he's also a very good player of chess. To be true, kwa game hata vile tutaicheza, I'm just sure sitaishinda because nimeona biography yake. Ni msemo mwenye ame-attend some challenges na ame-emerge as a champion pia bado. So as we're going to play it, so ati mimi ni champion kwa hii game, but to be true, da lose. That's the bad thing, but poleni, I'm sorry. So maybe Kevin, before kwanza to introduce kwa topic yetu ya leo, maybe just tell us maybe little thing just in a minute about chess.
Yeah, so about chess, to me, even though people think it is just a game, it is more than a game. Because when you play chess, for those who are familiar, it teaches you so many things about life, decision making, because as you move all the pieces, you're not just moving for the sake of moving. You have to figure out your plan, where you're heading, and also how your opponent is going to respond. And also it teach you caution, it teach you planning. There are so many things about life you can learn from chess. But now basically what chess is based on is like a game of war. But now that war just goes between minds. Because when you check the pieces, most of the names and the themes, they are borrowed from ancient battles.
Exactly.
So that's why for those who know, and also those who might want to know, it is a very good game, and also it makes you be good on your analytical skills. So that's why I love it so much, because I feel it is more than just a game.
Yeah. So as we're going to play this game, hata kwa wale wenye hawajui, concentrate so that even you can get maybe the moves. Hata vile nitapigwa hapa hivi akichapo, nitaelewa pia bado. Na please usikuwe offended vile na mention labda nita lose game. Ni kenye nishajua yani, because ile vile vizuri. So usifeel offended vile. Na pia Kevin, unione huruma pia. Maybe hata nikishinda itakuwa poa pia. There's a lose. So now about the topic of today, just even as he has mentioned about life. Normally as life everyone kwa life yake huwa ana moving na kenye he wants to make a profit. So like everyone's life upon desire maybe to change something, mostly maybe about himself or even generally about the family, or maybe to improve his status of life, kama maybe ni richness, all of those things. So normally kuna now this one word yenye iko common na watu wengi inaitwa investment. So about now that word, that's why sabade nikaangalia it will be even a good time tabado to discuss another topic inside inajita investment, but now investment for the spirit, because sasa tunajua investment zile zingine za aina mingi, but now what about investment for the spirit yenyewe unaifanyaje na unaiachivaje? Because it even in another way everyone also pia bado anatamani sana pia but hata bado spiritually pia still even a grow kiasi, and at the end you can just even term it by investment of spirit. So now that's the topic we're going to discuss today with our Kelvin, who is the instructor of Bible study. So please Kelvin, najua all of it is going to be a mind game about the lesson, even also about the game. Sasa sijui utazimix aje, but I believe unaweza kufanya kitu kama hapo walipi yao.
Yeah, I'll try to multitask. Maybe before niongee, I'll be making a move, and then as I move on also you'll be thinking. Okay, so maybe you can try to engage your mind a bit. So maybe I'll make the first move as I try to share about what you have just mentioned.
Yeah.
So about investment, because I do believe, especially those inspired by God, whenever they were recording the Bible, because our God is someone that is so deep. And even though you might feel Mungu anataka nifanye hivi, you might find that your mind is far away from God. So the language and the things used in the Bible, they're used in a simple sense, but God wants to explain something very deep, but He just used that simplicity to make you know the things of heaven. So meaning that in the Bible you can find many things about nature, water, trees, but God is using that simple language to elevate your thinking to what He wants you to know. So before I get to explain about investing spiritually, it is basic, from physical. There is this verse that is always a blessing to me, that is Romans chapter 1 verse 20, because God mentions that since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities have been clearly seen through what has been made. So even when I see nature, through looking at that nature, I can be able to feel the power of God. Yeah, because even the way they explain heaven using nature, God is trying to tell you, if you really can understand how nature works, you can also know what God is trying to explain to you spiritually. So for the sake of investing physically, I don't know, you've ever done a business before, maybe you're not business minded. Have you ever tried doing business before?
I've never tried, but before kwanza maybe I mention my business, make another move up so that you can know.
Sure, so just play with my net like that.
Okay, even with me also. Some niende wapi? Me just
unaweza fikiria na mind bila point so
just
figure out the maneuvers actually. If in a tournament you touch without thinking, you cannot undo. Even in life kuna decisions zingine ukisha make huwezi rudi. So the same in chess. So before even you touch, you have to really figure out how you want to maneuver with your mind first before touching.
So because of that one, I will make here.
Okay, thank you.
Now let me tell you maybe about involving in business. Yes, nime involved in a lot of businesses kama za kuuza ice cream zile mtaani. Kuna zile za manguo pia bado, viatu. I've done like different kind of job. Na reason is because I'm young. Normally as young people what tuna do those small business, because kwanza main aim was inaingiza do pia haraka. No. So I've ever involved in those kind of investment, but mostly through business kama za viatu, ice na manguo pia.
So I truly hope it went well. It backfired.
Okay, so it went well. It went well because I had and also nilikuwa na jenga profit pia bado. But yes, same as always business, obvious ya kesho uweze conclude huwa ina changing anytime. So kuna sasa profit zenye zilikuwa juu na siku zingine kulikuwa na losses kadhaa pia bado. So I can tell me that way.
So meaning that there were good times and bad times.
Yeah, exactly.
But because of what you were aiming and hoping for, you kept on enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked that, because as long as you're living in this world, there is like a pattern, it's like a script. For instance, someone can say you have to maybe grow up, you go to school, have a good education, have a career, which is a perfectly normal kind of desire. Because no one in this world anataka ishi na maisha yake ikuwe mbaya. For yourself, even for your children, whoever, you want to be successful, because you always tend to compare. Yes, huyu amekuwa successful, I want to follow that path. You tend to look up to that. But I believe when you start walking the path of faith, you have to look at life beyond that. Because I mentioned from the beginning, thinking ya Mungu na yetu ni kama heaven na earth. I don't know what is the distance, but ni very far. So meaning that if someone is really having that aim of walking that path of the believer, lazima I get to know the mind of God, which is not easy. And in John 1:1, wanasema Mungu ni neno. Like even if you meet me, we don't talk, you just see my appearance, you cannot know what is my mind or in my heart unless I decide to talk to you.
Yeah.
So the point when I start talking to you, you can figure out, and even you can be able to gauge what is my personality, my everything, what I like, what I don't like. So if I come to the point of saying that I know God, I must have delved deep into the Bible to know enyewe Mungu anataka nini. So the term spirit, because investing is whereby you are expecting a return, though you keep on putting the resources, the labor and everything, na hiyo kitu unaipata because you have that optimism that enyewe kitu unaiget. As you mentioned, kulikuwa na siku mbaya na pia zile siku poa, but you kept on being resilient because ulikuwa unajituma because there is something you wanted. Sinamaanisha even in the quest for seeking God, pia lazima kuna kujituma. So because someone will ask, maybe in the worldly point of view, una put door or whatever, because business kunakuwa na profit. But now, when I go out and seek for God, what is going to be the profit that I'm going to receive? Let's say mimi before lifestyle yangu nilikuwa napenda kwenda Dunda, maybe to end again. Alafu one day nimeswitch nimeanza kwenda Bible. Hata watu wataniuliza, so Kevo, ni nini utagain ukifanya hivyo? Because lazima watu wa question. Even when people live in this world, wanaishigi na calculation, if I go and pursue this thing, what is in for me? Hiyo ndio kitu wenye anajaribu kuangalia. So about the spirit, lazima mtu understand spirit ni nini, because even the way we are conversing right now, I can be able to see you, I can touch you, but when you look at a person, you're not just made of one part, you are divided into two, the inner and the outer. And because we are humans, we are still attuned to the world and the earth. What tuna tend to focus mostly on the outer, which is of course very logical, but you're not just a person in the flesh only, because you have your inner, that is your spirit, and even that is your outer, the flesh. So maybe for us to be able to get the scope of this lesson very well, I'll use this verse in Romans chapter 8 verse 5 to 9 that mentions that those who are of sinful nature, they have their mind on what nature desires. So nature ina desire, like right now, if I ask you ni nini unafikiria about, like sahi itai maybe kiamka kesho, ni nini inakoga kwa mind yako?
Unasema tu just sahi yenye tu mimi ninahitaji sahi, because physical kuna sahi ni usiku.
Yeah, so even as we are talking, I'll make my move.
And
I'll make my move, so you try to
multitask. Mi kenye mi sana za kudesire much sana. Sema labda ni chai, because kuna baridi, and even also to sleep because ni usiku. So those ni sasa asa business kwa mind yangu saa mbaya.
Yeah, which is a perfectly normal and a natural thing. But now in this world tunaishi na hiyo cycle. Yes, maybe I look for money, I do an education, I have a family, and then I feel kuna hiyo race ya life yenye nacheki pengine I'm getting old ndazeeka, I need to catch up before my time in this world is up. And that is what tumegrow nayo, but you need to think beyond that. Because let's say mimi nifike time to niamue mimi sasa tu naendaga Bible study siendi works, people are going to be very judgmental. Watasema Voke bana, mbona yuko ambitious? Unataka tu Bible study. Like if really they cannot see the sense of that, they'll start questioning. But now venye nime explain kwa hiyo verse, mwenye akona sinful mind ana desire what nature desires. Because hizo vitu nimeongelea ni vitu poa, si vitu mbaya, but the question is there more to life beyond hizo vitu tunafikiria? Because in that Romans 8:5-9, wale wenye wako na sinful nature wana desire vitu za nature. Yes, kunywa chai ni kitu ya kawaida, because if flesh yangu inahitaji fuel. Exactly. Hata kama maybe ninge impart growth yangu kula kitu mimi na feel niko tired, kesho naenda kwa, so it is a normal life, so ni routine inaenda hivyo like a cycle. But the question is, through that verse Mungu anajaribu kutuambia there is something beyond that you need to seek for. Because hata mtu maybe mwenye anaanza gabiz and watu wanamdoubt, wanamcriticize, kama ni mtu mwenye like akona ile conviction achagi hiyo kitu yani. Unaona? So ule mtu mwenye mind yake kwa sinful nature ata desire nature, but mtu mwenye akon the things of the spirit ana desire what the spirit is. So tutaanza na hiyo definition ya spirit. Because if you really want to know about the spirit, the best place you can get the answer is from the very person mwenye ana create your spirit. Let's say mimi nataka kujua vitu za udoki, then nisome bioscience. I'll not go in any other area to try and get expertise for those things. Exactly. But now mambo ya spirit, hauwezi enda usome history ujue mambo ya spirit, hauwezi enda usome math ujue mambo ya spirit. You have to go to the very area of the person that really creates that spirit. And we know, even when Jesus was conversing with the Samaritan woman, he mentions that God is seeking for worshippers that can worship him in spirit and truth. So the reason why God had to emphasize about the things of the spirit, because yeye mwenyewe ni spirit. But for me to have this spirit, lazima I go inside the Bible and then I get to see how is God explaining on how I can be able to have that spirit. So nilikuwa naongelea about hiyo Romans 8:5 yenye naongelea the mind ya nature na ile mind ya vitu simple. So one time when Jesus was teaching, because kuna time Yesu alifanya miracle, watu walikuwa wanamsikiliza akawa feed na samaki na mkate, ilikuwa kama ilikuwa lunch poa yani. Because kama walikuwa watu 1500 inamaanisha walibambika sana. So mimi sijui, I don't know the reason why walimfuata, but I think piece of miracles ilikuwa ni kama a kind of a pull attraction to them. But now as he kept on going, in John 6:63 mentioned that the flesh counts for nothing, it is the spirit that gives life. The words that I'm speaking to you, they are spirit and also their life. So meaning that as long as even say na bonga, kama hizo word zimetoka kwa Bible, hiyo ni spirit. Like you have to get that aspect of invisibility. Yes, I'm talking, you cannot see those words, but the more you keep on listening, even when utaendelea kufikiria, you'll not be able to be the same again. If you keep on pondering and try to act, meaning that the more I listen, I never come out the same person. Let's say even today tuko na Bible session, the second day, hiyo change inakuwa gradual in such a way that people cannot notice from the outside. Like how you inflate a balloon, unaona tu inaongezeka na pumps, but you cannot see that air. Exactly. So meaning that even though the spiritual things cannot be seen, there are things that really exist. But now Yesu akisema that the words that I'm speaking to you, they are spirit and life, flesh counts for nothing, namaanisha even as I'm living on this world, what I'm thinking about inafaa ikuwe beyond what is on this earth. And it comes from the point of understanding the Bible. So just from where we started in the beginning, mtu mwenye ana invest anamkaga mapema, analala late, anaweka do, because anaangalia the aftermath, how the future is going to be, how things are going to be. So hiyo kitu ndio inampush, inampatia hiyo resilience, anaendelea pursue hiyo kitu, but pia Mungu anasema lazima tumseek. But now problem moja kenye flesh inapenda na spirit ni kama enmity. I'll give an example. Let's say uko put in a situation whereby you have to make choices. Maybe today tufanye Bible study na evangelism, kuna dunda, kuna ball, kuna date. Obvious, kenye uta choose ni very obvious because kuna ile hostility. But even what you choose, kenye mind yako na hati yako desire inaonyesha ni mtu wa wewe, ni mtu wa Mungu ama wewe si mtu wa Mungu. Because mtu mwenye ana invest anekaga vitu zake more, but anajua zitakaa. Ili kitu itarudi yani. Tuseme leo decide yenyewe mimi this year nataka nijue Bible deep. Sina maanisha ile routine yenye nilikuwa nayo ya life, I'm trying to cut it off. Like itabidi nipunguze mambo ya ball, zile lesha zote, because mimi hii mwaka nimedecide I really want to know the Bible. Unaona? So ni kama umejinyima kitu fulani. But one thing that you must be able to know, when you seek for God, it is never a loss. It is never a loss, because just below Romans chapter 8 verse 5 hapo chini wanasema the mind of the flesh ni a sinful nature, ni kifo. Hata ni kuwe, which are good things, si vitu mbaya anyway. Hata ni kuwe billionaire or ni kule aje whatever kind of food I want to eat, if I keep on following that further, one day nitakufa yani. So about life, because wanasema those who desire the things of the spirit is life and peace. Maybe it is a topic for another day, but the more I keep on listening to the word, it gives life inside of my inner being. Napata life ndani yangu yani. Unaona? So meaning that what God is trying to emphasize, even Jesus, when you listen to the word, it is never the same. Because even when you check the story of successful businesses and empires, walianzaga polepole, maybe watu walikuwa na mock, maybe wanawapatia matusi, wanawapatia mambo, alafu inakuja kuwa empire yani. So it becomes like wale wenye walikuwa na mock wanarudi wanashangaa. So it means through what we have just read in Romans, when someone aims to pursue God, God anajaribu kuambia it is never a loss. Maybe I don't want to really use a lot of verses, but there is another verse in Corinthians yenye nasema kenye what is sin is temporary. Whether ikue gari, ikue nyumba, ikue msupu, ikue whatever you can think about that is attractive, it is temporary. But mwenye amesik follow path ya Mungu ni kitu eternal. Unaona? So meaning that if I'm placed within a choice ya kuchagua o mambo ya flesh na mambo ya kupursue path ya word na kujua Mungu, ile ya Mungu ni I'm investing in a company that will never fail. Maybe to speak about maybe gambling or stock taking, kama kuna kampuni mbili A na B na najua mimi nikiweka hapa do itaenda, I cannot do that. So meaning that even through that verse in Romans, God is trying to give us a portion, even though mna focus huko ili kitu yenye ta fail every time. Yes, I become rich, but what if I die? And Mungu akuje aniulize before him, ni nini ulifanya kunijua ama kuleta something in my kingdom? I must be thinking about that. Sinamaanisha even as I'm living on this world, because hii life yenye Mungu yenye tunaishi na ni Mungu ametupatia, si ndio? It is God that has given us this life. And if really it is God that has given us this life, then the question is those hours, and even it amounts to days, to months, to years, to my entire lifetime, nime make effort gani ya kujua Mungu? Unaona? Inamaanisha the moment naendelea kusikiza the word, inamaanisha spirit yangu ina grow, ina create you like that, because Mungu ndo ana create your spirit na neema yake. Unaona? So I'm never the same person. So inamaanisha you invest in, meaning that when I keep on following that path, there is a place for me in the kingdom of God. But kama if the hours, the time yenye Mungu amenipatia, I'm not spending it wisely, then hakuna faida.
Okay.
It is going to be dead. You get it? Haina faida, because if let's say kuna 24 hours, nachukuaga kama dakika ngapi kujua Biblia? Like how often do you learn the Bible? And even in a day unachukuaga how long to study the Bible yourself?
Okay, for now For now I really check the Bible because it was a good thing we joined to like center and learn. But before ilikuwa something very hard, mostly nilikuwa nashikanga Bible labda ni Sunday ama labda kama maybe tuko na youth gathering ama labda kama maybe tuko na just some things za familia. But siku hizi I can say I really study the Bible a lot, but before nilikuwa ngori sana. So sema kama sio plan, then I'm sure tu ningebaki kule nilikuanga tu mbali. Yani ni Sundays peke yake.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because ukiangalia watu wengi ile pull ama desire ya kusoma Bible maybe ko push due to the fact that familia yangu ni watu wa church, maybe discuss to me later. But sasa nikishatoka hapo hivyo ndio imeishia. But when you check vitu za Bible, hata saa zingine unaweza chukua life yako mzima kujua. And I believe the Bible is so much special in the sense that hakuna any academics or discipline in the world unaweza soma ikupatie life, but Bible inakupatia life. I know people will be wondering, so life kivipi? But God ni life kutoka kwa John, because na hiyo life inatoka kwa hiyo so that's why I can study any profession, but when you compare it to the Bible, I think it is the highest learning in any person. And back to where we began, when you want to invest anaeka that yake. So meaning that if really I feel that the life that I'm having ni Mungu amenipatia, is like ni kama deni. I don't know, have you ever taken a loan au umejaribu kuchukua loan kwa hii maisha?
Kwa hii maisha ya kuchukua loan nishajaribu but nikachana na bado loan zenye nimezichukua labda ni zile za vendo, but kama loan pesa sijawahi kuchukua, labda tu zile deni tu ndogo ndogo tu kama chuani so 3 so 4, but loan hapo hivyo.
So I hope you manage kulipa.
Okay, so obvious kulipa kama deni ni ngumu pia. But yes, nilizilipa. Bado it is a hard thing pia bado juu unaonanga tena inaenda na ndio sasa
yeah. So when you're taking a loan inagoga sweet una spend, but my point is kila time the months, the days, the years and the life that God has given to us, He call us to account. Because people misunderstand, wanasema hivyo nasoma nikuwe pasi ama nini. No, kila mtu ataulizwa. Hautakaa na babako, teacher wako, beshte yako. You'll be held accountable on how you live your life. So that's why even as you're living, you have to spend it wisely. When you mtu wa business anakoga shrewd na time yake na do, even at this life and the time, we must use it to invest. Hata watu wakikuangalia manze Linus Mfala na waste time inafaa, so it may not make sense because it's like folly, because tunajua mambo ya flesh na spirit huwa zina opposiana, but lazima uko tu ile believe that whatever I decided to do is something that is right. Even if they try to pull me down, why? This is like an everlasting investment. Ni kama umeka shares zako na stock yako kwa kampuni yenye itaifail. Because even if I pursue vitu za flesh, how long can they last? But Mungu ni eternal. Word yake ni eternal. The kingdom of God is eternal. And that is the most important thing. So what I can be able to mention, even as we are living on this earth, lazima we keep on telling God, please acha to understand tumebakia na time gani before, because kila mtu atakuwa accounted for this life that was given. Venye tu unapatia huko deni unabambika una spend, but ikianza kudaiwa inakuwa noma. Even that is how we are supposed to be trying to see this time that you're having, how are we really spending that time. You get it? So I really don't want to go deep, but what I'm trying to emphasize, kwa 24 hours yenye nimepatiwa, how much can I give to God? Yeah, najua in the Bible, because even I know tithing and offering is not only a church thing, it's like a Bible thing. But I think the best type or the 10th of me yenye naweza patia Mungu ni my heart and my mind, nikuje ni learn, nikuwe kama dhabihu when listening to the word. Of course ile ingine iko, but when I come and listen to the word, and hiyo word ina certify ninakuwa ni kama nyumba yenye Mungu anaweza ishi, unaona, because hiyo word inaniosha like I am never the same person completely. So meaning that even though people might look down upon it, but ni kitu ingine crucial because mtu mwenye anafanya hivyo ana invest even though the future is not seen, but it is an eternal thing much bigger than what you can be able to imagine in this world. Yes, watu wanaweza fanya whatever which are good things, but it cannot really be able to supersede ile decision yenye mtu amechoose to pursue word and also to be able to know about the kingdom of God. So I know nimejaribu kubonga, so multitasking imekuwa ngumu, so maybe I'll just make my move.
You can also make my move. So tuende wapi?
2 seconds later.
Let me... yeah.
Just being exposed. Check.
So eventually
you can capture it and the game still goes on. Check.
I just made a very terrible move. So now I'm playing with my king. Yeah. Sasa. So guys, as you can see, napeleka mbio, but though I'm still fighting hapa hivi. Let me hope I will make a nice move toward the end.
Check. You can't because of the bishop is marking the diagonal. So either you move to the dark squares.
So next, Nikki make a wrong move, just make the desired move. So we end up very fair.
You can't capture because the pawn defended the knight. You can't go there because that is the L square for the knight.
What about you?
Still, okay, just move with any other piece because your king has no playing square right now. It is like it is in an island.
Hey. just lost my bishop.
You lost many pieces, the queen.
Oh yeah.
All the rooks, the knight, the bishop.
This one.
So you've lost your knight again. So you're totally decimated now. Just die slowly. Check.
Wow. Can I go further? Just one piece.
Only one square.
For the king.
Yeah, but now your king, it can't come here, it can't come here, it can't come here. It's like you can only move the pawns because there is no legal move for your king right now. Because this one is marked with the knight, this rank is marked with the queen.
I need to learn this game. But I've tried niko na rook wake.
So I think it is not all about the material because once your king is locked, then that is now game over. So it doesn't matter what you are having, as long as your king is no escape, then it becomes game over. I think this is checkmate because no, you can take the queen because the bishop has defended. You cannot come here, you cannot come here, you cannot come here. So it's checkmate. So you do like that.
So I've lost this war.
You have lost it.
Okay, that's so okay, so maybe if sasa tukimalizia sasa. So okay, not like a question, although maybe just a motivation word, if maybe you have any, even for the viewers that now are watching us.
Yeah, so what I can say to everyone is there is so much you can be able to learn from the Bible, especially when it is understood. The reason why maybe people get frustrated and then they don't tend to have that desire because it can be difficult sometimes. But when the Bible is unfolded and becomes open, you get to know that there is more to this life. You get to see beyond what people see in this world. So I can be able to mention it is very beneficial, and even when you decide to follow that path of seeking God, it is never a loss completely. Because when you are on God's side, it is always a win-win. What I believe, if someone is on God's side, he can never lose. Even though people in the world might be feeling differently, because the moment you keep on learning, your mind, your art, the way you look at things, it is elevated to the level of God. So what I can be able to urge everyone, it is always a benefit to learn the word and also live according to it, because that is like a true everlasting investment. So even though maybe wherever you are umekuwa feel reluctant, try to make that step, because it is never in vain. Because even the reason as to why we are existing in this earth, there is a purpose as to why God made us to live on this earth. And me as a person, I can never really know about it unless I get to go inside the Bible and I can be able to figure it out. Yes, you can live your normal life, but at least set time for God, and it is never going to be a loss because it is like an eternal investment.
Okay.
So that is what I can be able to mention for today as an encouragement.
That's very nice. So anyway, just as you have heard, make the best decision. Now right now the best decision that now you can make is just like going to that betting unajua hii siwezi lose. Like for instance, yes, we are playing this chess, but I was just sure because sijui game fiti. At the end I was just knowing lose. But in case kama ningekuwa naijua fiti, then to be true brag that I will surely win. No. So normally me I love to be true because I move with that way so that baadaye nisiend up kujidanganya. So even the same way, choosing good side is the best way because hapo always lose. Kama uko na God, then who can be against you? Sure. Kama sasa uko na king hapa hivi na queen, hapo ndio sana uko. Then you are protected because kuna wasebest down. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I think that's the best one. Just move the right decision and the right one is just to move with the goals and kila kitu itakuwa poa. So anyway, again happy new year because still tuko kwa hiyo new year season. Sisi tuko January na sasa ni gani? 7. Yeah. Leo ni tarehe 7. So happy Wednesday or happy 7th day to everyone wenye anatuacha hapo hivi nje. Enjoy this your year. Kuna wale wenye wame make their resolution. I even hope utaachieve kila kitu yenye ulikuwa una aim in this year. And at the end, furahia and about to give God glory yote yani. So that's the end of the show. Goodbye.